2022 Lexus NX 350h versus the NX 450h Plus. Which is the best electrified luxury SUV to buy? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. Even though Lexus is known for making some pretty amazing SUVs with outstanding build quality and reliability, I was never actually the biggest fan of the first generation Lexus NX. I always found the design to be just a little bit too polarizing with its angular looking styling, and I also found the interior to be a little bit on the cramped side with a bit of a weird design too. Well, all of that has changed for the 2022 NX, which gets a completely new design with a much softer, more conservative look with smoother lines and a completely new interior too. But the most significant changes have to do with the drivetrains, with the addition of a new, more fuel-efficient NX 350h hybrid and a brand new plug-in hybrid NX 450h Plus. It's no secret that more and more consumers are looking at hybrid options to save money on gas and buy something that's just a little bit more future-proof. The question though is, how does the NX compare to other small luxury SUVs on the market? And which is the best version to buy, the NX 350h or the NX 450h Plus? Well, make sure to stick around until the end of the video because that's what we're going to find out. So as mentioned, the NX gets a completely new design for 2022 with much smoother looking lines and a more conservative overall look that's a lot less polarizing than the outgoing version. But the more significant part is the fact that you can buy it in a variety of different models depending on your budget and ultimately what you're looking for. The NX offers a choice of 4 different drivetrains altogether with 2 gas engines and 2 hybrid engines. The base model is the NX 250, which uses a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine borrowed from the Toyota RAV4. Although not intended to be all that popular, the NX 250 is the value model for those looking for something just a little bit more basic and to save money. Next up we have the NX 350, which uses a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine producing 274 horsepower and over 300 pound-feet of torque. This one comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission and standard all-wheel drive, and is designed to be the performance option in the lineup. This is the one that's designed to go head-to-head with the other compact luxury SUVs like the Acura RDX, the BMW X3, and the Audi Q5, all of which offer similar 4-cylinder turbo engines with very similar performance. The more intriguing options to me, however, and the ones that I think that the majority of consumers are going to be interested in, are the NX 350h and the NX 450h Plus, which are the hybrid options. With the NX 350, you get a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine matched to a pair of electric motors producing around 240 horsepower. This is a very similar hybrid system that you'd find in the Toyota Venza and the Toyota RAV4 hybrid, only in those SUVs it produces just under 220 horsepower. The reason for the power boost in the NX 350h is the use of a more powerful and larger electric motor, which is nice to have. The extra power is definitely appreciated, and with 240 horsepower, the NX 350h certainly feels like it has more than enough power. And not only is the performance more than adequate, but like all Toyota Lexus hybrid systems, this is a very smooth and quiet hybrid drivetrain with a seamless transition between electric and gas modes. And of course it gives you amazing fuel economy too. The NX 350h is able to get around 35 to 40 miles per gallon or 6 to 7 liters per 100 kilometers. That's pretty close to what you get with a RAV4 hybrid and a lot better than the gas-powered NX 350, which is only able to get around 20 to 28 miles per gallon or 9 to 12 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, even though this is a very fuel-efficient SUV, the one major letdown for me is the fact that it does require premium gas, which is a little bit odd considering that both the RAV4 hybrid and Venza with the exact same hybrid system are perfectly fine using regular. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The use of premium gas aside, this is still a very fuel-efficient SUV that's going to save you a ton of money on gas when compared to most of the gas-powered alternatives. Now, as mentioned, the NX also gives you a plug-in hybrid option with the NX 450h Plus. This is pretty much the same hybrid system with a more powerful electric motor and a much larger battery pack, which gives this hybrid over 300 horsepower. It also gives the NX a dedicated electric range of around 35 miles or 55 kilometers. Now, of course, to maintain that electric range, you do have to plug it in and charge it, but that's still a pretty good range for this type of SUV. And the best part is that when you do use up that electric range, you get the exact same fuel economy as the regular NX 350h. So for those who have the ability to charge on a regular basis and use that electric range as much as possible, the NX 450h Plus definitely makes a lot of sense over the regular hybrid. Whichever option you go for, this is a very smooth and comfortable SUV to drive. If you're looking for the ultimate handling SUV to toss around like a sports car, then the NX is really not the best choice for you. This is an SUV designed for comfortable everyday commuting, and for that purpose, it's perfectly well suited. And not only is this a great driving SUV, but it also has a very comfortable, well-designed interior space too. As mentioned, the previous generation NX was known for having a pretty tight interior space with an awkward control layout and a pretty dated infotainment system too. Gone is the trackpad infotainment system, replaced with this extra large touchscreen which pretty much controls all the features inside the car. While the base models come with a 10-inch touchscreen, the higher models get this extra large 14-inch display, which is one of the largest ones in the segment. The user interface is a huge upgrade from what Lexus had in the past, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come as standard, which is great to see too. The rest of the interior has a really nice layout, and all of the materials and build quality are excellent too. There is a little bit too much gloss black for my liking, which does show a lot of fingerprints, dust, and scratches, but aside from that, this is a really high quality interior that's definitely going to impress. Lexus added a few unique touches too, like this wireless charging pad that you can actually slide out of the way to reveal a storage area, and these electronic door latches too, which I thought were a little bit odd at first, but actually work quite well. And the interior space is a noticeable improvement over the previous generation NX, which is pretty nice to see. Even though the interior space is still a little bit on the tight side, especially in the back seats, this is still a pretty spacious SUV and should be more than adequate enough for the majority of buyers. And not only is this a practical SUV, but it comes extremely well equipped, including a lot of active safety technology, which comes as standard on every single trim level, which is really great to see. The NX is also a very reasonably priced SUV, especially when you compare it to most of its competitors. The pricing starts around $40,000 for the base NX 250 and $42,000 for the NX 350 and 350h. Unfortunately though, you do have to pay a pretty big price premium in order to get the NX 450h Plus over the regular hybrid model. Interestingly enough, in Canada, the hybrid NX 350h does cost a lot less money than the regular NX 350. But like in the US, the NX 450h Plus is a pretty big price premium. So given the differences between the model, which one is it ultimately going to be, the hybrid or the plug-in hybrid? Well, if you're comparing the regular gas NX 350 to the hybrid, I think there's no question that the hybrid is the one to go for. The fuel economy benefit that you get with the hybrid is huge, easily saving you at least 30 to 40% on gas per year. And the fact that it doesn't cost any more money than the regular gas version makes the decision a lot easier too. When it comes to comparing the hybrid to the plug-in hybrid version though, that makes things just a little bit more complicated. On the one hand, the 450h does give you that dedicated electric range, which is really nice for those who do have the ability to charge on a regular basis. In the long term, it will save you a lot more money, and you also get that extra power, which is nice to have too. And if you live somewhere where the NX 450h is eligible for electric vehicle incentives, reducing the price difference, it makes the decision to go with the plug-in hybrid a lot easier. If you don't have electric vehicle rebates though, then the difference in price between the hybrid and the plug-in hybrid is definitely quite large, and I'm not sure whether it's really worth the extra money in order to get the plug-in hybrid. Without any rebates, the NX 350h makes a lot more sense in terms of what you're getting for your money, and I think it's the sweet spot in the NX lineup. The value that you get with the NX is undeniable. It easily costs around $3,000 to $5,000 less than a comparable SUV from BMW or Mercedes. And as I mentioned earlier, unlike those European luxury brand SUVs which have questionable long-term reliability, the Lexus has one of the best reputations for longevity in the segment. If you want a luxury SUV to buy and hold on to for upwards of 10 to 15 years without worrying about any kind of expensive repairs, the NX is going to give you the ultimate peace of mind. And because of that great reputation for reliability, it also has very high resale value as well, which is something that can't be said of a lot of the European brand SUVs. When you factor in its aggressive pricing, amazing fuel economy, excellent reputation for reliability, and all of the features that you're getting for the money, this is a very difficult SUV to argue with. Ultimately then, Lexus did a phenomenal job with the redesigned NX, and if you're looking for an electrified SUV for your next vehicle purchase, this is a great one to consider. So let me know what you think of the 2022 Lexus NX 350h, 450h Plus, or the NX in general? Would you buy one over other comparable luxury SUVs? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at some of my other car videos by checking out these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to check out carhelpcanada.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.